Program was provided in part by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the financial support of viewers like you.
Reach for the speed, reach for the whistle, go where the rail may run. Reach for the words, reach for the story, follow the rainbow sun. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true, waiting there for you.
There! That ought to do it. Come on, baby, work! Maybe we should just use smoke signals. And Stacy? Oh, Matt, oh, you scared me. Hey, listen, Tiny isn't here. I haven't seen her today. Come on, work! I have. Oh, really? Well, that's nice. Where? Right here. Hi, Stacy. Oh, hi, kids. I guess you're wondering what I'm doing. So I'm trying to fix this old telegraph. It doesn't work. Well, let's just say it sort of works. Sometimes. No, not really, because it doesn't send and it doesn't receive. And for a telegraph, what else is there? Noises. It makes plenty of noises. Oh, boy. See, I'm trying to fix it. There aren't many of these left on our railroad, and I'll be glad when they replace all of them. Can we help you fix it? Thanks for the offer, but I want to do this myself. What a racket. Listen, kids, I'm pretty busy here. You find something to do, okay? We just wanted to help. Maybe we could have fixed it.
You weren't the problem. She was.
What do you mean?
Your Aunt Stacy is worried about whether she can fix the telegraph herself. And sometimes busy people just don't stop and think about what they're saying.
You mean she wasn't mad at us?
Exactly. Her mind was elsewhere. She wasn't paying any attention to you. But that's no reason to be upset. It's the sort of things friends learn to accept in each other.
How about the engines on the island of Sodor? Are they the same way?
Certainly. Remember when Gordon made fun of Edward about the cows? I didn't tell you? Well. Edward was getting old. His bearings were worn, and he clanked as he puffed along. He was taking empty cattle cars to a market town. The sun shone, birds sang. But Edward was heading for trouble. Come on, he puffed. Oh, screamed the cars. Edward puffed and clanked. The cars rattled and screamed. Some cows were grazing nearby. They were not used to trains. The noise and smoke disturbed them. As Edward clanked by, they broke through the fence and ran across the line. A coupling was broken, and some cars were left behind. Edward felt a jerk, but didn't take much notice. He was used to cattle cars. Bother those cars, he thought. Why can't they come quietly? He was at the next station before either he or his driver realized what had happened. When Gordon and Henry heard about the accident, they laughed and boasted. Fancy allowing cows to break his train. They wouldn't dare do that to us. We'd show them. Old Toby was cross. You couldn't help it, Edward. They've never met cows. I have, and I know the trouble they are. Some days later, Gordon rushed through Edward's station. Poop, poop, mind the cows. Hurry, 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 puffed Gordon. Don't make such a fuss, don't make such a fuss, grumbled his coaches. A long stretch of line lay ahead. In the distance was a bridge. It seemed to Gordon that there was something on the bridge. His driver thought so too. Whoa, Gordon, he said, and shut off steam. Oh, said Gordon, it's only a cow. Shoo! Shoo! He moved slowly onto the bridge, but the cow wouldn't shoo. She had lost her calf and felt lonely. Moo, she said sadly. Everyone tried to send her away, but she wouldn't go. Henry arrived. What's this? A cow? I'll soon settle her. Be off, be off. Moo, said the cow. Henry backed away nervously. I don't want to hurt her. At the next station, Henry's conductor told them about the cow and warned the signalman that the line was blocked. That must be Bluebell, said the porter. Her calf is here, looking for her mother. Percy will take her along. At the bridge, Bluebell was very pleased to see her calf again, and the porter led them away. Not a word. Keep it dark, whispered Gordon and Henry to each other. They felt rather silly, but the story soon spread. Well, 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 chuckled Edward. Two big engines afraid of a cow? Afraid? Rubbish, said Gordon. We didn't want the poor thing to hurt herself by running up against us. We stopped so as not to excite her. You see what I mean, my dear Edward? Yes, Gordon, said Edward. Gordon felt somehow that Edward saw only too well.
Sometimes Gordon thinks he's so great.
Oh, that's just the way he is. It doesn't mean the other engines don't like him. Well, I'm off to play in the Dilly-Lick tennis tournament. See you later.
Oh, bye, bye.
Oh, it still doesn't work.
Cece, what happened?
Nothing. That's just the problem, Tanya. All I get is oh, boy, it's like if you had a telephone and it wouldn't give you a dial tone, so you couldn't receive any calls. Well, I tried. Nobody's perfect. Maybe Harry will be able to fix it when he gets back.
Why is the telegraph important?
Well, it's how some of the train stations can talk to each other and talk to the dispatcher. And the way they talk to each other is really wonderful. It's like a secret language, all dots and dashes. You know how your name would sound, Matt?
And people can understand that?
Yeah, all over the world. They have telegraphs on ships like this freighter. So every telegraph can talk to every other one, except for ours, because it's broken.
Ah, good morning. You must be Miss Stacy Jones. How particularly beautiful you look to a man of my utmost sensitivity.
Are you kidding?
Kidding. Ha ha, H-A-H-A. How droll and amusing and things of that nature. And you must be children. How wonderful. How would you like a super-duper telescope that you can look through with your very own eyes?
Are you feeling okay, Schemer?
Schemer? I've never heard of Schemer, although I do understand he's a wonderful fellow. Oh, and here is that lovely item that I just forementioned recently. And you, a woman of your high-classness, must be thinking to herself, hey, how about a snack of some high-quality peanuts? Here, be convenient at your leisure.
Oh, that wasn't funny, Schemer.
So what do you think anyway, huh?
About what?
About what? About the whole get-up, the whole new thing, my new concept, and my new, this is my new marketing image. I'm like Fred Astaire, the great dancer, except that I'm in retail. I got a new line. The whole thing, practical joke devices, novelty items. I'm telling you, they're a riot. They can't miss.
No. I never liked these things, Schemer. They can be very mean.
Mean. Of course they're mean. Life is mean. That is what practical jokes are all about. What do you girls know? Hey, Matt, my man, guy to guy. You know what is really funny? You got a big black eye right around your eye like that when you looked into the joke telescope. And now, was that funny or what?
Yuck.
Yuck? They say yuck to Henry Ford? Did they say yuck to Dwight D. Rockefeller? You know what the problem is with you people? You don't know what funny is. And that's funny. That's funny.
What a weird guy. I think he's super weird.
Well, listen, Schemer may not be perfect, but he's harmless. And when he comes around here, he usually makes us laugh. So we got to appreciate him for what he is.
Do we have to?
Well, when you get to know people, you got to take the bad right along with the good.
Stacy's right, you know. The good thing about Schemer is when he has an idea, he's not afraid to charge ahead and try it out.
But he can be such a pain.
Yeah, the bad thing about Schemer is he doesn't stop to think about how other people will feel about his ideas.
So what are we supposed to do?
Well, I think we're just going to have to put up with him.
I must say, the practical jokes sometimes can be very silly. And other times they happen in the most unusual way. Why, I have a friend. Well, let me show you. Let's go down the anything tunnel.
Just arrived early without the telegraph to warn me. I don't know what to expect.
Hi, Grandpa.
Oh, Donnie. I ran into a friend on the train. Of course, that's the great thing about trains. You never know who you're going to run into on one. And he decided to stop by and say hello. Tom?
Hi, Harry.
Tom Kellerman. My granddaughter, Tanya.
Hi, Tanya.
My friend, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
And Stacy Jones.
Hi.
Gotta run things around here.
Nice to meet you, Tom. I've got bad news, Harry. The telegraph won't work.
Won't work? Sounds to me like it's broken. Well, you introduce yourself to Tanya and Matt, and I'll take a look at this thing.
Okay, Harry.
Do you work on the railroad?
No, but I sing songs about railroads. Here's an Irish railroad worker's song, and the chorus goes, I was wearing corduroy breeches, digging ditches, pulling switches, dodging hitches. I was working on the railway in 1841. Me corduroy breeches I put on. Me corduroy breeches I put on to work upon the railway, the railway. I'm weary of the railway. Poor Patty works on the railway. Remember the chorus? I was wearing corduroy breeches, digging ditches, pulling switches, dodging hitches. I was working on the railway. In 1842, from Hartlepool, I moved to Clue. Found myself a job to do, working on the railway. I was wearing corduroy breeches, digging ditches, pulling switches, dodging hitches. I was working on the railway. One more time. I was wearing corduroy breeches, digging ditches, pulling switches, dodging hitches. I was working on the railway.
Oh, thanks. It was so nice to meet you folks. I'm going to go meet my train on the platform. Will you tell Harry?
Sure.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.
I told you I already tried that.
Maybe you didn't attach it right.
Maybe that's not the problem.
Maybe.
Well, thank you.
But maybe you didn't attach it right.
Harry!
Stacy!
They're fighting.
That's not fighting. They're disagreeing. They'll make up before too long.
How's the tennis tournament?
I won.
You won?
Well, I didn't lose. I couldn't, you see, because no one else turned up to play.
There'll be another tennis tournament, Mr. Conductor. Cheer up.
Yes, I will, by telling you a story of James's latest adventure. One day, James had to wait at the station till Edward and his train came in. This made him cross. Late again? Edward laughed, and James fumed away. After James had finished his work, he went back to the yard and puffed onto the turntable. He was still feeling very bad-tempered. Edward is impossible, he grumbled to the others. He clanks about like a lot of old iron, and he is so slow he makes us wait. Thomas and Percy were indignant. Old iron? Slow? Why, Edward could beat you in a race any day. Really, said James, I should like to see him do it. Next morning, James's driver was suddenly taken ill. He could hardly stand, so the fireman uncoupled James ready for shunting. James was impatient. Suddenly, the signalman shouted. There was James puffing away down the line. All traffic halted, he announced at last. Then he told the fireman what had happened. 2 boys were on James's footplate fiddling with the controls. Phew! They tumbled off and ran when James started. The signalman answered the telephone. Yes, he's here. Right. I'll tell him. The inspector's coming at once. He wants a shunter's pole and a coil of wire rope. What for? Wondered the fireman. Search me, but you'd better get them quickly. The fireman was ready when Edward arrived. The inspector saw the pole and the rope. Good man, jump in. We'll catch him, puffed Edward. James was laughing. What a lark, he chuckled to himself. Suddenly, he was going faster and faster. He realized that he had no driver. What shall I do? I can't stop. Help! Help! We're coming, called Edward. Edward was panting up behind with every ounce of steam he had. At last he caught up with James. Steady, Edward, called his driver. The inspector stood on Edward's front, holding a noose of rope in the crook of the shunter's pole. He was trying to slip it over James's buffer. The engine swayed and lurched. At last! Got him! He shouted. He pulled the noose tight. Gently braking, Edward's driver checked the engine's speed, and James's fireman scrambled across and took control. So the old iron caught you after all, chuckled Edward. I am sorry, whispered James. Thank you for saving me. You were splendid, Edward. That's all right, replied Edward. The engines arrived at the station side by side. Sir Topham Hatt was waiting. A fine piece of work, he said. James, you can rest and then take your train. I'm proud of you, Edward. You shall go to the works and have your worn parts mended. Oh, thank you, sir, said Edward. It'll be lovely not to clank. Now I feel so much better.
So do we.
I tried reconnecting. I tried reversing the wires. Why don't you look? See for yourself.
That's just what I'm gonna do.
Mr. Conductor, you could fix the telegraph. By magic, go on.
After Stacy and Harry have spent so much time working on it. Oh, no, that wouldn't be fair to them. I will give you a clue about it, though. It's something to keep in mind no matter what you're doing. Look for the little things. The little things hold big secrets. And now it's time for me to scoot to play a tune upon my flute. Bye.
You're right. That didn't do it.
Great. Now what?
Wait a minute. He said look for the little things. What's this? Grandpa, look.
Ah! Albie. Why didn't we think of this?
Oh, I'm so glad you two found that. Harry and I were getting really worried. If the two of us couldn't fix it, what would they think of us at the Indian Valley headquarters?
Here goes. Thank you. That's not necessary. Thank you very much. I know that you love me. Thank you. Hey, I'm really touched. Hey, Harry, you old railroad guy, you. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Shake. We've already met, Schemer. You're so right. And that's what I love about you. Shake. Oh, this stupid buzzer put itself in my hand backwards, and I ended up buzzing myself instead of Harry. Stupid thing.
That's not the only stupid thing around here.
That's right. It's not the only stupid. Hey, kids, I got a surprise for you. Why don't you come a little closer here now? Come on, that's the idea. Come a little bit closer. There you go. A little bit closer to me. All right, now I want you to sniff this flower. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Sniff.
What's that?
I'm all wet. That is what I call not funny. I don't think I like these practical jokes. I am not the kind of person that people are supposed to be laughing at.
Oh, well, maybe nobody is, Schemer.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Yeah, see, kids, even Schemer can learn a lesson. There are two sides to every joke. Oh! Okay. All right, Tom. Says the Empire Limited is on time. It should be here in 10 minutes.
Great. That gives you ample opportunity to enjoy my jukebox. Go ahead, throw in a few nickels.
Well...
Schemer! That's not nice.
Okay. My treat. Anybody got an extra nickel?
Oh!
I'm kidding. You know, I might not have my practical jokes, but I still got my music.
Hey, what are we gonna do with all these nickels anyway?
How about us having a big old party?
Yee-haw! That's a fine idea, Tex.
Thank you, Rex.
You're welcome, Tex.
Oh, like, who needs a party? Like, man, life's a party. Dig. Anyways, these nickels are staying put. I like them.
When did you start collecting nickels, Tito?
Oh, it was, back in '57. My first gig. Band leader said, take 5. I never stopped.
Okay, we get the picture. Hey, people, talk later, play now.
In 1841, I put my corduroy breeches on. I put my corduroy breeches on to work upon the railway. Fill-a-me-ori-ori-ay, 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 to work upon the railway. In 1842, I left the old world for the new, but such to the luck that brought me through to work upon the railway. Fill-a-me-ori-ori-ay, 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 to work upon the railway.
Tex!
In 1843, 'twas then I met sweet Biddy McGee, an elegant wife she's been to me while working on the railway. Fill-a-me-ori-ori-ay, 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 to work upon the railway. Fill-a-me-ori-ori-ay, 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 to work upon the railway. To work upon fill-a-me-ori-ori-ay. Fill-a-me-ori-ori-ay, 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 to work upon the railway.
Wow, musical spoons. Can you show us how to do that?
Sure, if there's time. Here, Stacy. First, take your 2 spoons and put them back to back. Put them together. Take your pointer finger of your writing hand, point between the 2 handles. Open the one hand and wrap it right around the spoons. Hold the bottom one tighter than the top one. Tap gently on your leg. Whoops, there's my train. I gotta go. You keep practicing. Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, he started to teach us how to play the spoons. Do you know how to play them too, Stacy?
Well, I've been known to rattle a few in my day.
Yay!
How about you, Schemer? Want to learn how to play the spoons?
No way, Miss Jones. I got more important things to think about than spoons. Soup spoons, musical soup spoon. Musical soup. Soup that sings to you while you eat. Oh, I can make a fortune on an idea like that.
Come on, kids. We've learned a lot about people today. Now let's see what we can learn about spoons. Remember? Hold it. Put the finger of your writing hand in there. That's it. Now hold the bottom one tighter. There you go. Got it, Tanya? There you go. Hey, Max.
Reach for the speed, reach for the whistle, go where the rail may run. Reach for the words, reach for the story, follow the rainbow sun. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true, waiting there for you. So much to see, so far to travel, so much to learn to know. Friends by your side, hopes to hold on to, who knows how far you'll go. To a shining time